Hi guys, Lee from Overbite Gaming here, and today we're taking a look at Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. It's the new expansion for the venerable Diablo 4, and I like it a lot more than I did the previous one, Vessel of Hatred. Vessel of Hatred introduced one new class, and basically just continued the story. It's like the middle chapter though, so it really kept it sort of just trundling along, and it was centered around Neyrel, which wasn't one of my favourite characters. Lord of Hatred appears to be the conclusion of the story of Diablo 4, where you track down Mephisto and he's masquerading as Akarat, so he's gaining the support of the people, but you know he's Mephisto actually and need to do him in. What you're seeing on screen is early game. There are two classes, early game of the non-expansion I should say. There are two new classes. One is the Crusader. I have maxed out the Crusader class and finished Lord of Hatred with it. But because it was released when you pre-ordered and you could play as the Crusader, which is why I pre-ordered, I essentially decided to do another playthrough after I finished it with the new class, which is the Warlock. So as the name would imply, it's in a demonology and curses and things. I'm going strictly a demonology route, so you can see that I'm summoning demons and using demon whippy tails to attack people. So I'm quite enjoying the class, to be honest. All of the classes have their charms. I know some people are less enthusiastic about Diablo 3 and 4. Certainly 4. I think Diablo 3 sort of found its way after a while. Diablo 4 is still fairly maligned, I guess. But this is a good expansion if you like the Diablo 4 experience. You'll certainly get your bang for the buck out of it. Also introduce a new system, which is like a talisman. So you've got another page in your skills tab, and you've got representation of a circular talisman, and you slot one in the middle to open up slots around the edges, and then you can populate those with like lesser jewels, and they give you passive buffs, which is always nice, like 20% chance of a lucky hit, which does 40% poison damage or something like that, things like that, or just increasing attack speed and things. As you might see from the screen, I tend to do kind of a tanky build. I like having health regeneration, health on hit, health on kill on pretty much all of my gear, just so I can basically out-heal them. It reminds me of City of Heroes when I did a rock tank-based hero, and I could basically just root myself in a group of bad guys and just walk off and get a cup of coffee, and they wouldn't be able to actually damage me faster than I was healing. It was insane. I love that build so much. And I like to sort of emulate that in a lot of games because, you know, I'm fairly straightforward, smacky, hitty, occasional special sort of thing. So I'm not that much of a strategic player, so I don't really like all the dodging and stuff. So if I can tank, I'll tank. The actual story, although I won't go in it too far, is good. It's more about Lorath this time around. I felt, as I said, I didn't really find Neyrel as interesting a character as I do Lorath. And the second expansion, Vessel of Hatred, kind of introduced this new antagonist, and he was actually pretty interesting. And he runs you through and tosses you off a cliff, and you obviously get saved and continue your adventure. But he doesn't stick around for as long as I expect. It wasn't as integral to the sort of plot as I was expecting. So, yeah, it was a shame. It was like a really good setup, and it just never paid off for me. And this time you're obviously after Mephisto, one of the prime evils. So that's a bit more challenging, shall we say. And it's also the sort of the end of the arc, really, because you got his help in the initial Diablo 4 campaign to defeat Lilith. And Lilith's still within you, where you drank her blood. Well, were forced to drink her blood at the very start of the game. And you're able to sort of get advice and communicate with her and her assistance in taking down Mephisto, the titular Lord of Hatred, if I haven't mentioned that. And I thought that was pretty cool. I kind of like her as a benevolent figure. I mean, even in the first game, that you could see where she was coming from, and you know, you obviously didn't agree with it, but you did see her point, which made her a little bit more of an interesting villain. And Mephisto's more straight ahead when it comes to villainy, but he's only there for you to chase down and kill. He's a sneaky bugger. He will You'll have like voices of Akarat, hands of Akarat, beg your pardon, which are basically he's possessing people. And you know he's not Akarat because you've met him in the previous expansion, so definitely not Akarat. And he turns people against you basically, so you'll have instances where you're stood in a crowd and they'll attack you and you'll be like, I don't want to kill anybody, I'm just going to run the fuck away. So it's quite nicely done. The game itself is Diablo 4 basically. It looks nice. Diablo 4 has always been a pretty game. It runs well because it's, you know, it's not new anymore. It's, Christ, what is it? 5, 6? I don't know. I have no idea how old the game is. I know it's pretty old because I remember not being able to log into the bloody thing when it launched. That was fun. The infamous error, whatever it was, I can't remember now. But it was like an error number that everybody was getting because the servers were getting slaughtered. And I never understand that. When you release like a game as big as a Diablo game, a mainline Diablo game, and you underserve the servers, it's just like, what did you think was going to happen? I know you're trying to like open with the minimum and then slowly introduce more to save yourself money. Have a bit more than that, for Christ's sakes. Oh dear. I mean, without going into too much detail, I like the new classes. The story is good. There's some twists and turns and some sacrifices in there. Nothing made me cry, don't worry. But yeah, it's good and satisfying. And another old face turns up to help you. So, and it's always nice to see that particular character come back. So, yeah. It's just more Diablo 4, and you know, even with Vessel of Hatred, which I wasn't a huge fan of, I enjoyed it as well. So if you do enjoy Diablo 4, it's worth a purchase. I mean, you get 2 new classes, which is better than the last one that only gave you 1, and it wasn't a particular class I was interested in, because it was like sort of an Aztec warrior type thing with animal aspects, and I was just like, I don't know. You know, I max level 1, of course, because it's a new class, but I just wasn't feeling it. Whereas this time round, both the Crusader and the Warlock I'm enjoying immensely. I did purchase the Diablo 2 expansion that came out recently as well with the Warlock, but I haven't played much of that yet. I am considering doing Directive 8020 as a review, just to keep you apprised of what may be coming up. In two minds about it though, because I've heard like some rumours that it's perhaps a bit more progressive than I would like. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not very far into it at all. And of course it's got the wannabe Bond starring in it, so don't know. And after playing the last one, which was The Devil Inside, I think it was, I didn't finish that one. That's the first one of them I didn't finish. It really didn't grab me. It was just like, it was just full of annoying zoomers basically, and I was like, ugh. And this one I'm like, okay, right, the space, I like space, that's better, I'm okay with that. And then about 40 minutes into it, you realise, oh, they've added a gameplay. They've added, so it's no longer just quick times of walking around looking at stuff, which is what I kind of like, to be fair, and what I buy them for. But now they've introduced stealth gameplay. So it's a stealth game. I'm just like, oh, thank you. You bit the one game style I don't like. I mean, Resident Evil Requiem sort of pushed me on it, but I don't know. It was always worth going through the stealth bits to get to the Leon bits, in my opinion, because those were the bits I really wanted to play. You know? But yeah, I have no idea whether I'm going to review that. I might even return it, because if it's going to be like 6 hours of stealth gameplay, I'm just like, do I really want to suffer through that? I'm not sure. I'll play it a bit more and see. I'll probably end up playing it too much and have lost the option to refund it. I have finished the first chapter on it, so we'll see how we go. But stealth gameplay doesn't really get on with me, to be fair. I'm more of a like, if I get spotted, I just want to be able to fight my way out, you know, that sort of thing. I have got a few more games that are relatively new, or I haven't reviewed, so maybe I'll do one of those instead if I don't feel it. But we'll see. I mean, the Dark Pictures, I've reviewed the rest of them, so, and The Quarry and Until Dawn and the Until Dawn remake. So yeah, we've pretty much covered them all. So I probably should review it if I'm fair. I mean, they never do particularly well in terms of views, but I don't really do this for views. I do this because I enjoy doing it. So, we'll see. We'll see. There's a few games I've started playing and need to put more time into, so we'll see what happens. But Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred. If you like Diablo 4, highly recommend. 2 new classes, and I think it's the ending to the story, so it's kind of like, if you come this far, you may as well finish it, eh? No performance issues that I had. It plays just as fine as Diablo 4, so it's up to you. If you like Diablo 4, I'd say go for it. Well, that's it for this week. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.